just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this is the greatest invention since the dawn of bedding. Now it can be enjoyed with any snack, sweet or salty. With this invention there is squat that is faulty. I look at my creation and I proudly wave my victory flag. It's like someone eating nuts, cause I just made the tea bag. The year is 1906, a more uncivilized time, where tea leaves were just infesting everywhere. The issue presenting itself was the leaves getting everywhere. Frustration of wanting to drink made it so unfair. All I want to do is enjoy the tasty water. Getting leaves in your teeth turns it to an enjoyment slaughter. Need someone to come along and fix this heinous blot. Then I thought, that's me, I'm a genius on the spot. I need to cleanly move the leaves from point A to B. I need a contraption for this. Who's a genius? It's me. I'll get a piece of fabric attached to a string. You see what's back in my step? That's right, the spring. The leaves give the flavor without the fear of spreading. Now this...
Oh, hello. Hello. I also love the song. I've set up a new little setup thing if the mic doesn't keep going out. Because Pat made this. I really like it. Very into the whole thing. I'm just getting my stream manager up in case I miss things. There we go. Okay. So I'm trying to get better at all this. Trying to make it more presentable. Make it more theory-based, because if I'm going to do it, I want to be proud of what I'm doing and not just like very... That camera's gonna fucking kill me again. Just looking at like just telling a story about something horrible that happened. I want to like get some good out of it. So again, Francie, because you know what this story is, I ask you very nicely to don't look so harshly on the information I don't know, because it was very hard to, well, it's going to be hard for me to pronounce words because I can't even pronounce English words as is. So yeah, English is hard for me. Finnish is going to be fucking impossible. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna work on it, gonna get into it. But first I'm going to start by trying to explain exactly why I get into things in this one that won't seem to be involved in the crime, like what the politics are, what, you know, geography, all that stuff, because... Okay, thank you for saying that. I'm just going to explain things that you already know, Francie, about your country. But if others come across this VOD or they come across things, you need to kind of gather, when you're studying criminology, you need to know most things about... Okay, well, I'll explain what criminology is in general so you can kind of gather what's going on. So, definition. Just a rough definition, really. So the definition of criminology is to research sociologists, psychologists, philosophers, psychiatrists, biologists, anthropologists, as well as scholars of law. So you pretty much have to study everything to work out why crimes occur. So you've got to pick apart everything that's going on to go, oh, that's what's going on at the time. That's what's caused this outbreak of crime, or that's what's caused someone's mind to snap. That's what's, you know, you've got to study everything to kind of work out one tiny thing, because crime doesn't exist in a bubble. Like, people think, oh yeah, it exists in this tiny bubble. It's like, no, we all contribute to crime in a sense. Yes, I am teaching. So yeah, that's just a breakdown of criminology in a sense. So now, Francie's country, which I found fascinating because I realised that I didn't really know much about Finland. So I didn't understand that Finland was a unitary state, so that I feel like I'm just talking to you, Francie, about your own country. But like, whereas in Australia we have multiple different states, which are their own countries in a sense. Whereas Finland is a whole state. Like, the government governs the whole of Finland, whereas we have New South Wales, Queensland, all that different, which is honestly fascinating to me. And they only have 5.5 million people in Finland, and they only just got their independence in December 6th, 1917. So it's quite a new... Hi, James Nation. I'm just talking about Finland as a whole of a country. Like, it only got its independence. Most small countries... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that most small countries are unitary states where they're just one single entity. It's like the bigger countries are the ones that have to break up into states so that the smaller governments have to be like their own countries. It's just that because I'm in a bigger country, it is kind of strange to think about. But also, did not know that you had a civil war. You had a civil war right after you declared independence on May 1918. So then... Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. So then you joined the EU after this crime occurs, like long after, so it's 1995. And you were also a republic, so that means that people vote for laws, they vote for who they want in control. And the way that you actually do run your elections are really interesting. That you have multiple different people running. Like 9, I think it was 9 this year. And whoever gets over 20% of the vote ends up being the majority, or something along those lines. Most of the information I got is off Wikipedia, so please tell me when I'm wrong, because it's Wikipedia. So yeah. But I just found that as a very fascinating thing. Also, a lot of this crime is around the 50s, 60s. So it is, you know, quite a new country around this time. Don't know how the economic states would be. How economically Finland would be around this time. It's just something to look into. Like, that's one point to kind of think into. Economically, now Finland's great, but it was a brand new country. The war had just happened. Was a interesting time. It's just a direction for criminologists to look into. Yeah, you did. I'm aware. But when you industrialize really fast, the rich people rise, the poor people get poorer. Generally. But you are a smaller country, so that doesn't really apply. Yeah. So you would have improved. Also, that would cause a shock to some people to have like a different economy. Some people wouldn't deal well with that as well. So that's another thing to look into, another idea to look like. When things change, people don't deal. But it doesn't, it's just, you look at those things, you look at those as motives, not really as that's why. It's just like, oh, that person didn't deal with it. yeah. Okay, now I go into murder information of Finland because again, as one of the podcasts I listen to, find my ignorance charming because I did all my research on Finland's murder stuff either via Wikipedia or your criminal code. Because I found your criminal code and I translated it all from Finnish to English. So, please be kind. So, in 2016, Finland had a murder rate of 1.14 per 100,000 the population. There was a total of 18 homicides in Finland in 2018. The women constituted 10% of the offenders, but 25% of victims. This was found on a domestic violence site for women, so that could be a bit biased. It's just you don't know where the facts come from. Again, I was finding it very hard to find sites because I'm looking on English websites, and I found a few Finnish websites where I translated them. So the death penalty was abolished from Finland in 1949. So yeah, it is. I was looking, a lot of the information I got via murder was domestic violence, and a lot of the murders that have been committed against women has been domestic violence by the looks of it. But that's what I've found. Like, from what I see, Finland's pretty peaceful. Seems pretty good with the murder. So, under the Finnish Criminal Code of 1889, life imprisonment consisted of at least 12 years of imprisonment. So, your imprisonment code is quite lenient, which is, personally, I'm of my stance, personally, is I believe in rehabilitation. We have, in Australia, we have this, oh my god, my camera. We have this code where it's, when you are sentencing someone, you have to rehabilitate, you have to, I always forget this. It's recidivism, rehabilitate, are you protecting society? I'm gonna forget the rest. There's 7 though. There's 7 of them. That's all I remember. I will remember them eventually. Back on track. Since 2006, Helsinki's Court of Appeals has acted as a parole board. And that's a thing that I have noticed in Finland. There doesn't seem to be a lot of money being put into parole or your forensics. It seems very, you don't seem to be putting money in there now, like, which is, it's a bit worrying because that's why a lot of things haven't been solved from the cold cases. That's what I've been reading. That's it. So a person will be considered for parole after serving about 10 years. Oh. And the maximum years for murder is 15. I'm not sure how accurate these things are because it's Wikipedia. Okay, now to get into the really... I don't know how interesting this is for people, but this is the criminal code, which I found fascinating. So criminal law is something I really get into at school. I love criminal law because it finds out when a judge has to hand down a sentence, they have the codes, which are pretty much, here's what the person has committed. You have your mitigating and your... I forgot the other one. I'm so dumb sometimes. I just have mind blanks. But you have something that like makes the sentence worse, or you have something that says this is why you committed it, because you have mental illness, you have a bad upbringing, you're poor, all that kind of thing. So it just like makes it more lenient. So then they have the guidelines for sentencing, which is just like the booklet kind of thing. So I found the Finnish one, which made me really excited. And I got it translated. And so the first one is crime committed in Finland, which it just says that Finnish laws apply to a crime committed in Finland, which is the first criminal law thing, which is the Economic Zone Act and the Maritime Environment Act, which I'm surprised I could find this, honestly. But the first murder one, which is chapter 21, is called a kill, which just made me very happy. But it just says the company must be punished. There is no years on it. There was no... It's just... Oh, there's no minimum years or anything. But then you look up and it says at least 8 years. So all I'm saying is Google Translate's not great. But then after that there's murder, which it gives you four things that classify what murder is in Finnish. With firm consideration, in a particular cruel or cruel manner, causing serious or general danger, by killing an official while he or she is maintaining order or securing on behalf of his or her for official duties. And it just says that you must be punished. And you must be sentenced to life. So that's, again, something to look into for this. And then you go into forensic labs, which I was talking about, where I think that things are seriously underfunded, which I think is something that you could just generally say for all countries, that things are seriously underfunded. But there is a misconception that there is only one forensic lab in Finland, which I had to look really hard into this because it's not true. There is a National Bureau of... Yeah, I think everything's underfunded, and I don't think that's just Finland. I think that is in most countries, most places, everything. Everything has a tendency to be underfunded, especially if we really need it. But when you look it up, I was reading on Reddit, because I did go into Reddit as well, because I had to really look for these articles, that people have this idea that Finland only has one forensic lab, but they have a forensic lab in They have a National Bureau of Investigation Forensic Lab. The main one is in Vanta, Finland, which I'm feeling the Vanta is a massive city or something in Finland. I don't know. I don't know much about it, but it is brought up a lot in this story as well. But the forensic science in Finland did start from a one-man lab in Helsinki Police Department in 1908, but by 1955 it developed into a national agency. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's probably on the map that I have. It brushed over my head. I appreciate you guys helping me. I'm learning while I'm doing this. But it has like 20 forensic disciplines in the laboratory. So it's pretty good. International airports in Vanta. Okay. So the fact that it is very big kind of puts another spin on the story as well. So you do have a pretty good forensic lab then, which changes a lot of things. So there you go. So then I'll go into the actual murders. So Francie actually asked me to do this one in the Discord. Hey Earthbound! I'm just doing... You missed all the theory, so... I'm good, I'm doing a murder. You can clip that, don't mind. But yeah, no, Francie asked me to do this one. And it is about... It's an unsolved one, which... The reasons it's unsolved is still confusing to me. Like, you can still eliminate people, like, through DNA, but they just choose not to. And it's really baffling to me. I don't know. But, anyway, so, it's Lake Bodom is a lake in Finland located at, and I'm going to stuff this up and I apologize, Ota district of the city of Ospo, not far from Helsinki. So this is all in the same area, I guess. The lake measures approximately 3 kilometers in length and 1 kilometer in width. Okay, so I got the map. So this is the lake here. This here is the location of the murder. And this here is the lake. There's Helsinki. Think I got it? I'm edumacating myself. So, on June 6 in 1960, a well-known campsite on the shores of... Oh, God! But... So, the real name for Bodom is really long. So, Bodo Minjarvi. So... Okay, so this place is... Wow, okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Francie. So that means Lake Bodom in Finnish. That's fascinating. So Francie just said, for if you're watching the VOD, that Bodomunjarvi means Lake Bodom in Finnish. So that's actually really interesting. But the murders occurred early morning on Sunday, June 5th in 1960s. So at between 4 and 6 a.m., the murders take place. And so this is the timeline of when it all happened. At 6 a.m., birdwatching boys see Nils Gunnarsson on the collapsed tent. Also witnessed a blonde man walking away from the tent. And then it's also at 6 a.m. Morning. Where is it? The bodies were discovered by Esko Ovia and then later by Risto Syrian. I am so bad at pronouncing. But because there's so many different papers, Esko and Risto have been mixed up on who originally found the bodies. So, okay, I don't know how I'm going to talk about this. Three of the bodies were deceased, and one of them survived. Which, if you've ever heard anything, the one that survives is always the one that is going to be suspected. But what happened with this is, okay, I'll get the victims up first, and then I'll talk about the rest. So here are the victims. So 4 teenagers were from Vanta. Malai Irimi Bjorklund, 15-year-old girl. Anja Tuluki Maki, 15. Seppo Eriter, I'm so bad at this. This is so bad. Boisman, 18-year-old boyfriend, and Nils Willem Gunsfjorn, 18-year-old boyfriend. Nils is the one that survives. So, what happens to the 2 girls and the boy is that they were killed by stabbing and blunt force trauma to the heads while sleeping inside the tent. Someone attacked them from outside of the tent. The young people's skull must have been crushed with something to believe which is a large stone. Nils was found to be lying on top of the tent. Nothing was found at the murder site, no weapons or anything. The victim's belongings were missing. The only survivor sustained a concussion, fractures to the jaw, facial bones, bruisings to the face, but he lived, and in a state of shock from everything that had happened. He claimed to see a vision of black and bright red eyes coming from them. Now, I actually do need Francie's... Oh! Thank you for the follow, Lara83. I love that. Thank you. So, okay, Francie, what is the law on minors? Just need that. Because I found the criminal code on it, and it still makes me feel like their relationship was not great, having 15-year-old girls with 18-year-old boys. Not blaming them or anything, I'm just curious. Yeah, like statutory, my camera is dying again. I'm just curious, like, Laura's 16, but I don't think that was in effect during this time. Okay, thank you. I did find the law on it, and it did say that it started from about the 50s, but I don't think anyone took it too seriously. But I was just curious. So now that you know, like, the effects, like, the kind of what happened, I guess you could say, I'll go through the suspects that I found. So this is the sketch from the murder and the picture from the funerals. Okay, well, I'm not comfortable with that, but not gonna knock it. So the first suspect that I found was Valdemar Gillestrom. So half a kilometre away from Lake Bodom was a kiosk owner known by Valdemar Gillestrom. According to Risto, Risto was one of the people who found the bodies. So I have this thing where I don't trust people who come across a body to also point towards a suspect. But, you know, according to Risto Saren, Gillestrom was known to be hot-tempered and hateful of young people. Yes, exactly. But that's... Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. Why do you listen to someone who found the body to also point in that direction? Like, why are they in control? He wasn't even the first person to find the body. He was the second person to find the body. Like, he's inputted himself into this murder to solve it. Like, I get that this person is sus, but he's also has mental health issues. Like, it's weird. I personally don't know why no one looked at the Risto guy. I don't know. But, to each their own. Was known to be hot-headed, tempered, and hateful of young people, occasionally throwing stones at those who cycled past his house at night, which is kind of funny. He allegedly confessed 4 times before drowning himself in Lake Bodom 9 years after the murders occurred. Now, there's a book that Ulf Johnston, who grew up in the area, wrote called Legend of Bodom, and it was published on Thursday, 27th of October 2016. And he said that everyone in the area was terrified of this guy, that he kept everyone in a panic, and that everyone was like destroyed, and he just kept everyone on their toes and all this stuff. So the whole book is about the kiosk man. Apparently he would shoot at locals, which is insane. But the thing is that the police have never done a DNA test on him because, I don't know, they say because he drowned in a lake, so DNA has been impossible to gather. But there was DNA traces at the camp of a 5th person. So it is possible to do a DNA test. But they say it's been destroyed by drowning. Now, I'll go into that. you can destroy DNA from bloody tissue from in the water. But the fact that they ID'd him means that they DNA tested him. The way that you ID someone from drowning means that you DNA tested them. Also, you can gather DNA testing from marrow in the teeth. And if he's got relatives, you can get a fair idea from DNA testing the relative. It's not 100%. It's never 100%. DNA testing is never 100%. But to flat out say the DNA has been destroyed. Oh, hey, Han! Is the biggest cop-out I've ever heard. That sounds... I hate that they say that because that's a lie. But I can't. I'm doing my Criminology Mondays here. I'm talking about how the Finnish police have said that they will not DNA test a man because he drowned in a river. But you can destroy bloody tissue from drowning, but you cannot destroy all your DNA from drowning. You still have your bone marrow. You still have other options. Plus, he got ID'd from the river, therefore he was DNA tested. Yeah. I shall continue. I think that's... Yeah. Based on obtaining DNA profiling of deceased, you ID them. So, yeah. So, go back to this one, and we'll move on to the next person, which is my favourite name, Hans Arsman. Yes, I am a child. I don't hide that. It's my favourite name, and Francie will tell me that it's pronounced something else, but I don't care. Yes, can I finish this bit and then we'll get on to your advice? Is it close? Oh, ugh. Look, I don't care. Yeah, all good, Han. Advice always. No, but Han Arsman, like, even if he didn't do it, oh my god, Arsman is the best last name. I need it. But even if he didn't do it, he is still an alleged KGB spy who lived in Finland in the 50s and 60s. A former police officer, editor Matti Polero, claims that Arsman called him in December 1997 and asked him to come and listen to his life story. According to Polero, Arsman told him that he had served in SS troops and also was a guard in Auschwitz during World War II. Look, even if he didn't do it, that's what he said he did. Yeah. Another lead came in 2003 when Dr. Jorma Palo said that Arsman came into Helsinki Surgery Hospital the morning after the killings took place. He behaved aggressively, nervously, and faked unconsciousness. His clothes were covered in blood and red stains. Oh wait, were covered in red stains, presumably blood. Hello, news! But the tests were never taken before he left. Stop doing this! If you see blood, take it! Yes! Never stop learning. I love my new thing. It's so good. And my blackboard. Arsman lived within 5 kilometres of Bodom, which is a short distance from the shore of Lake Bodom. But Arsman has also been linked to another unsolved Finnish homicide. Well, a few. So, Kailiki Sarai's murder and the double murder in Hen Savi that later took place only 10 months prior to Lake Bodom. He left a suicide note, not a note confessing to Lake Bodom's murder. That's according to Wikipedia again. That one's the suicide note's according to Wikipedia, so I'm not taking that one. His wife said that he was asleep with her at the time, so this is again another wife saying nah, it didn't happen. So yeah, now to the really sad part. This is Niels Gustafsson. So I always have a thing where I get really annoyed at the media, so here's my part. A really big part. I found an article. Sorry, news, but yeah. I found an article and it's like, Lake Bodom murders, was it really about sex? I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. You can't have a salacious title like that when he hasn't been found guilty. Hey, Lax. You all come in like when it's nearing the end. But in late March 2004, yeah, they went fucking, like, even the English ones went fucking mental on him. It's like, dude, he survived. Like, if he gets found guilty, I don't give a fuck. It's not my problem. But, in late March 2004, almost 44 years after the event, Niels Wilhelm Gustafsson, the only survivor, was arrested under suspicion of murdering his friends. The new evidence was acquired through new investigation methods, based on some new analysis of bloodstains found at the scene and DNA testing. Of course there's DNA and blood. He was attacked. Yes. I've just wiped all my makeup off. He is now a bus driver and allegedly outburst of jealousy, went crazy, stabbing his girlfriend 15 times. Yeah, I know, the media. Yay. So, the new trial started in August 2005 and the prosecution called for a life sentence against him. But nothing was proved in 3 months of trial. Yeah, they have no... That's the thing, like, this drives me crazy when they do that kind of shit. It's like, okay, have some form of evidence. I have wiped so much makeup off my eyes onto my face. Yeah, I get it. The media said so. Cool. Good for them. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Like, in Australia, you have to be so certain that you have the right information. Like, even if you're being a little bit... Like, you can have outlandish titles, but you have to have correct information in there. in other countries, you don't even have to have correct information. And that's why I don't like doing other countries. Because you don't. Sorry, Ali. I do it on Mondays to try and cheer you up. Give you something to look forward to. Also, you get to learn. Get to learn about crime, politics, the news, all that kind of stuff. Okay, sorry. I'm giving you something good. Anyway, so he got $44,000 in damages for his time in prison and mental anguish. Oh, £44,000, I mean. So many years after. Yeah, I know, I'm taking your bit news. So he got £44,000. So I... Yes, you feel cheated. The prime suspect is the only survivor. So, as I said, it's always like a massive thing about media is that whoever they lock onto as the target is generally what the police lock onto. So he was the only survivor. So the media locked onto him. He would have got hammered for 44 years. And so the police were like, well, let's go for him. Instead of using their resources to get real people. Which fucks me up, really. So, the main reason why they thought it was him was not only did all that happen, but I'll go back up here. His girlfriend was also trigger warning. I'll give you some time. Trigger warning, there is talk of sexual assault, I guess. Okay, I've given you enough time, I feel. His girlfriend was undressed from the waist down and was lying on top of the tent as well. She had most injuries of all the victims. So I also feel like that had a part to play in why he was arrested. He only had like a deep knife in the back of his head. So, knife wound in the back of his head. So he had the least wounds, like maybe he fought back. So maybe with a concussion he forgot what he saw and what happened. Like there was more to the story, or maybe he knows and he's not saying anything. So that happens sometimes, like maybe you know something. So while I put my references up, because I've got 2 pages of that, I will explain the little tidbits that I learnt, which is fantastic. So here's my references. A lot of Wikipedia. There's that. So there was, in 2011, archaeologists, students plan to I can't even say English words. Why am I going to try and say Finnish words? The camera's going to fucking kill me. So they're trying to excavate the Bodom murder site, but they're not doing it to find more clues. They're doing it to find reasons that people still visit there and camp there, which, you know, why? Why are you still camping there? Like, I get it's pretty. I looked at all the pictures. It is very pretty. But no. It is. It's very pretty. But if I knew 4 people were attacked there, I'd be a bit iffy on that. And also, the reason why the reason why Francie got me to do this, the Finnish melodic death metal band Children of Bodom, who are also from Espoo, derive their name from the lake. All the band members looked for good names on their local phone book when they stumbled upon Lake Bodom. They felt like the name was their name with impact behind what the story they found interesting. Which I found cool, that they just stumbled across it in the phone book. That's, yeah. So, there's my learning for today. Never stop learning. But, does anyone have any ideas of who they think did it? Francie? You're the one that knows more about it. Who do you think did it? Oh, really? I didn't read that. I'm so sorry. That's sad. Oh, I missed that. Oh. So no one has any ideas of who they think the killer is? My guess would be the kiosk guy. His wife provided the alibi and later said that she... Oh shit! I didn't read that either. See, that's the thing, like, when I'm looking up information, it is gonna put the English-speaking websites up first for me. Whereas, for you, you're gonna get all the proper information about that. That's the thing, though, like, when I looked up Assman, it said that his wife gave the alibi. So that's why I was like, okay. But he is a suspect for a lot of murders, Assman. But I think that's more so because he is a KGB operative. So it's easy to say, oh, well, you could kill anyone at any time. I don't know if I really believe that he would kill children. Like, what does he get out of that? Like, with victimology, you've got to look at the victim first and think, okay, who gets more out of that? See, I personally don't believe anyone's given me a good suspect for this. I think you use the DNA, rule out... Oh, okay. Sweet. That's good. I personally, though, believe that all of the suspects are bullshit. I think there's something else. I think there's someone else. Oh, okay. Hey, Han. No, don't be sorry. You're allowed to come in and out whenever you want. It's a welcome place. No, I just think that it's someone known to them because, like, the way they were killed is in passion. It just... Yeah, it says that. It says that there were fishermen that saw a blonde guy, but it doesn't say who they were. Didn't say anything about that, but that's interesting. So those two men were never identified, but they just said they saw a blonde guy. Okay. Yeah, I just think that it's very interesting, though, that people are set on those three being the suspects when it's, I don't know, it's so easy to not think it's those three, because those three, one has a mental illness, clearly, and I just feel like he wouldn't want to just, yeah, I just don't think it's the kiosk guy. I just don't. I can't. I want them to test the DNA to rule him out. I think ruling someone out in a cold case is the best thing, because there's always going to be suspicion on someone until you rule them out. But I don't think it's him. I think that they're not testing the DNA because it's easier to let people suspect than actually solve it. Yes, the case is still open. I didn't know what the number for the Finnish tip line was, so I didn't post it up on my board. Sorry. But if you do have tips, call whatever the Finnish tip line is. Yeah. It's a very old case, so I don't know if you would. Yes. The only one that survived is probably still alive, maybe? He was alive. He was 77, I think it was, in 2004, so he might be still alive. But I just... It's one of those things that until... Yeah. There is no statutory... no. Whatever. See, my brain, it doesn't work sometimes. There is no statute of limitations on murder. If you commit murder, it doesn't matter what country, I don't think. There might be a country that has a statute of limitations on murder. I'll look into that. I'm such a curious bean. I honestly, I already know exactly what case I'm doing next week, because I always have this big... I was talking on Prosper's stream with Prosper, and he's like, is there any case that just got so like controlled by the media that it ran out of control? I'm like, yes, I know exactly the one, and it is very well known, so I'm doing that one. But I'm so into it. If you're not Australian, you won't know it, but oh no, you will know it, but it's more well known in Australia, so I'm so into it. I did it for uni too. Oh, thank you, Surly. But yeah, I am so keen. I'm gonna... Yes, it does. See, I'm so easy to read. Well, I guess everyone knows now. I should just put on a game while we talk, chat. In history class, what one? Jack the Ripper. I love the, my favourite part about Jack the Ripper. Okay, I'm gonna get a game up while I talk to you, so I can be slightly entertaining. Or I can just talk. Whatever, you can choose. I'll do a poll. Question. Game. Or just chat. Okay, so who done it? Okay. So I'll go into my little original. There we go. Who done it? Yeah, don't think so. Don't think so. with the Jack the Ripper case, I love that someone was so convinced that they had the DNA of Jack the Ripper on the scarf that they tested the DNA and it came back positive to the, what was it? Who was the guy? The barber. And then they realized that he accidentally didn't transfer over a number in the DNA and then it came back negative. It was so funny. I love that. That was my favorite thing. But yeah, chat. Fair. No, but that was a really good one. I liked that when he came up with the scarf DNA. I was into that. Oh god, I'm getting my tea. I haven't had a tea yet. Anyway, Han, did you need to ask me about something? About your advice? While I talk about generalized murder shit? Should just be called generalized murder shit. Are you sure? If you just send me it on Discord and I'll talk to you later about it then. The mood is murder. You don't kill mood. You'll never kill mood. The camera kills mood. The camera always kills mood. Nah. I think like the thing that really got me into studying all this stuff is like the question of you never know when someone's brain is like that, because people can be the most charismatic, nicest, all that kind of stuff person, but then the next minute they're just con men. That's why I liked doing the fraud one, because it's just like very, all people are like that. Like, not all people, a lot of people like that. Yes, no, that happened. He sent a piece of a kidney to the, yeah, no, I highly liked that too. He was, not really. No, Han. No. That piece of a kidney was a woman. No. Look, I'm Australian. I do my best. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, if you want a serial killer who really gave it to authority, it's definitely the Unabomber. But he was very mentally ill. Very mentally ill. Highly intelligent, but very mentally ill. Oh, but he was like, he was killing sex workers. Okay. Nah, Lara, I don't know where you got your username from. I am, like, for someone who tries to be smart, I'm not smart. Just do my Criminology Mondays because I like to learn. I like to educate myself. I like to study things. But I don't keep the information inside my brains. I'm pretty dumb. I will be probably looking up your name. As soon as you started like talking about Finland though, I was like, cool, another Finnish one. Oh, cool. So, Francie, I looked it up, and apparently Gustav's trial in 2000 was so thoroughly stomped that yeah. You have 3 levels? Oh, wow, cool. Levels of high courts? Yeah, it was so bullshit. Like, I was looking at it, I'm like, do you have any evidence against him, or did you just want to make a show of this? Like, okay, so my question for Francie is, do you elect... Oh, okay, so I'm pretty sure we have 3. Yeah, we have 3. We have the magistrates, we have the supreme, and we have the magistrates, supreme, and oh my god, I look so dumb as a criminology student, I can't even remember. No, it's not the crown, it is... Oh, fuck. I can't remember. Magistrate, civil, no. I'll remember. Yeah. Thanks, Laxlam. Glad you're as smart as me. Good to see you catching me up with that. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I feel so stupid sometimes. But I just don't understand why... Is it county? No, that's New South Wales. Yeah, because each state has its own. I hate our country sometimes. I'm gonna get in trouble for treason. No, but you can't just take someone... What? Do you elect your judges, or do they get hired? Like, how do you get your judges, Francie? About courts. You're on a jury? I can never get on a jury now because I study criminology, which sucks. I love going into court. Like, I have to go into court to do my assignments all the time. My favorite court is the magistrates. That's why I remember its name. Funny as hell. Love going. I love going. They're appointed. Okay, cool. It is. It's awesome. Did you... So you went for 4 weeks. Okay, so you become a juror in Australia. You just get a letter. And they're like, hey, we need you to come in. But you're not allowed to become a juror. Yes, it's picked out of, like... You're picked out from the like, if you are, what's it called? Representatives in Communal Parliament, EU, and changes. Okay. Holy shit! 20 charges! Yeah, our court system, our voting, everything runs off of yours. We're part of the Commonwealth. We still do everything through you. We still have the Queen. We're still part of your country. Yeah. Australia is still your island. Yeah. We have a Prime Minister. We have a Governor General who reports to the Queen. Yeah, you guys joined the EU in 1998, was it? I think the only difference between 5, okay, close. The difference between our voting and your voting is that we vote compulsory, so we have to vote, otherwise we get a $50 fine. You guys, I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, you guys have a choice. I'm not 100% sure on that. But because I'm just going off of the Brexit, because I know that you guys had a choice whether or not to vote for Brexit. Yeah, so we have to vote. It's not a choice. Yeah, that's why I have an issue with it not being compulsory, because I like it being compulsory, because when it's not compulsory, it becomes toxic. I'll say toxic, because when it's compulsory, it's just like, I don't care. It becomes like, yeah, like, I like it being compulsory, because then people are just like, okay, I'll vote who I like in, but if it doesn't get in, then I don't care. And it's not like a massive issue. Except for now, where everyone hates who's currently in. But that's generally how it is. In Australia, we hate anyone. We just hate politicians. We don't care, we just hate them all. We have this, like, inner hatred for every politician. Yeah, definitely same with England. The UK. They just hate all politicians, except Lord Buckethead is a fucking... Oh my god. Give me Lord Buckethead. I love him. He is the best politician I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I do. He's great. Fuck, that's embarrassing. Which part? Which part that he was inept? Was it when he went to Hawaii? When it was fucking everywhere was on fire? That was embarrassing. That was fucking embarrassing. Or was it when he went on holiday? When everywhere had COVID? Or is it that he's just constantly on holiday? I'm fucking mad. He didn't. He didn't try. I hate that people say he tries. He didn't try at all. He hasn't tried. He has tried to make us stop closing things down. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. He's the worst. He is so bad. He, okay, so there's this... Yes! Love it. That's because your media isn't run by Murdoch. I hate him. So, the thing is with our current leader, I'm so mad. He used to work for Tourism Australia. And you know that ad that went around the world that's like, Where the bloody hell are ya? Yeah, no. Being best buddies with Trump doesn't get you very far. He's also very religious, like to the point where he goes to America to do all his religious stuff. It's just, yeah. He's also really good friends with QAnon. Yeah. But no, he was in control of the campaign of the "Where the bloody hell are you" ad. Anyway, that ad destroyed tourism in Australia. And he got a raise for it. He's just, he's incompetent as fuck. I hate that man. I legitimately hate that man. I don't hate people. But Trump and him, that's some good hatred going there. Yep, falling on up like only white men can. Ah, God. If only I could get some of that. Should stop ranting on Twitch. Oh. I got some random... Yep. So, should send you guys to someone more interesting than I. Before I get myself cancelled. I would love to just get on a stream with APUM and just rant about shit. I feel like it would be a good time. Yep. Me ranting lost me 2 people. That's cool. It's fine. It's fine. I know, it would be magical. Me and APOM are the most chaotic human beings in the world. So I'm gonna send you over to this human being. I think they've only just started streaming. So let's send them some love. Bye, lovely beans. I've had such a joy with you. So send this person some love. You know how we be. They're playing some Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, just send them love. Just give them some hearts when you get in there. Send them love. Okay. Bye. And bye.
I have to get that one. Alright, now going with Mario tradition, I'm just gonna assume I would need to kill him one more time. That's it. Oh my god. Alright, that should be it.